Welcome back. I'm doing a special video just for you, although there are a few other signs that I would love to give a special thanks to, but your views were strongly the most views on a very exciting day for me. I did my first set of videos on each sign, and the response was overwhelming. I clearly know that this is something that I want to do for everyone. And by the way, I didn't have time to do makeup. I've been at work all day today, and I'm just too excited to not try to do something special for you to commemorate this beautiful day for me. I was really touched, and I think that the part of me that was never quite sure how I connected to my Venus in Virgo really got a boost because I'm obviously really connecting with you guys. So maybe that's the energies I'm working in. I don't know. Anyhow, so as a bonus, I thought about how, I could tell you about your week. I could do, three different scenarios and you can pick one. I was thinking about all the different things I could do, but, I really am about your person. I am really about the people who are really wanting to understand something so that they can see with fresh eyes the situation that they're dealing with. And I thought about a spread that I've done a couple times for myself and for a couple of friends. And basically, I'm going to have three cards that are the red flags to pay attention to, three cards for obstacles that are something you definitely want to work out. I mean, the red flags are something that you might have to be careful. The obstacles are, man, it's too bad, but these are things that if you love this person, just definitely get through it. And the last line is, let's focus on the positive, and let's celebrate the things that are really working. Okay, we ready? Okay. The usual goes. Your person, not he, she, if I accidentally say it. If you don't like it, I'm so sorry. Please don't hit dislike though, because I'm new and I won't understand. If you put constructive criticism and you don't have to put a like if you disliked it, but constructive criticism, if it's given, constructively, is welcome. No, I kind of knew that the dice didn't work out and whatnot. There's certain thing, but I don't mind being told just in case I didn't notice or something like that. I totally welcome. I want you all to get the most you can out of these. So definitely tell me what's going on. And I'm going to try to get back to each and every one of you personally for as long as possible. If I do have so many people that it's hard for me to get back, I'll try to work out some kind of a system. And then yeah, oh yeah, and if this is not your story, and if it doesn't connect with the one that I told the other day, it could be that the energies have changed on some level, or the people who are watching this particular video collective, I might have more in the collective, and I picked up some of that energy as well. But it is my heart to give more insight. So I believe that this would be not so much of a continuation, but more of a deeper sense. And by the way, after the video, if you're interested, I am testing out something that you might like. It works on two levels. It's a video for crosswatchers of Virgo, people who love Virgo, about what's going on with Virgo. So that your cross watchers can be, understanding and considerate of you, Virgo. And you might be interested in seeing what, your cross watchers might be trying to understand about you. Okay. So that's going to be on Vimeo. I'll have the link underneath, and I'm excited about it because I've never seen that approach taken before. I mean, maybe others have done it. I'm sure I'm not the first person, but I felt like that could be a way that I could take more time off of my job so that I can do this more. So I have some type of income stream from it, so I could give a lot of free content, if that makes sense. So I do encourage you. I'm still new though, so I don't want to charge a lot, but I want to see if that's something that is that's going to work out. If a lot of people are doing that, then I would feel more comfortable pulling back on my work hours. Okay. So, anyways, I don't want to get too far into that. I do want to celebrate some of the other signs as well, all of the other signs, but some of them more than others who showed up and really supported my videos. And Virgo, you just really blew me away. So, without further ado, I'll try to put a timestamp so in case you want to skip right to the spot. Unless somebody gets to it before me, I don't know. Okay, so I already pre-shuffled, but let's go ahead and I'm probably going to need more clarifiers for this so that, I'll leave a little space for clarifiers. Okay, so angels and spirit guides. Let's reward Virgo for and enjoy this celebration with Virgo, and letting them know some of the red flags to watch out for with their person. Okay, what have we got here? Let's see. And here's my deck that I use for clarifiers. Okay, so, oh, well, this one, pretty self-explanatory if you know this card at all. The Four of Pentacles. This person is definitely coming from a place of lack. They are afraid to let go of things. They feel safer if they hold on to things, which, is not all. I mean, I would say that, I've come to a point in my evolution that I feel that letting go is the safest thing in the world. But it looks like your person is not in that place. Now, that doesn't mean that they're not evolved in other ways. Sometimes some people have strengths in some areas and not others, and vice versa. So but when it comes to someone who's ready for a good relationship, this is not really something that I would recommend as being a great quality, but maybe they have other qualities that really, or you could be a catalyst. Now, I'm not saying to try to tell them to not feel this way, because that would be a disaster. Okay. This doesn't work that way. Okay. But you probably know that. I hope you know that. Yeah. Okay. So you might have to accept this. And so that means, having arguments over it and this and that is something you probably want to accept as inevitable, or accept that you just agree with them, and and hopefully it won't be disrespectful of yourself by agreeing with this person over this. You're gonna have to work that out though. Okay. The Lover's upside down. Okay. And this is a major arcana, so this is a strong energy. And in the upright position would be good, so I can see upside down, being a red flag of some kind. Okay. The Lovers, they have they're coming from a different point of view. The female energy is looking up in a spiritual way, and the male energy is looking at her, it appears. Or looking at the female energy. So I'm seeing the male energy in the 3D and the female energy more in the 5D, and that's in the upright. So when I flip it around, I'm going to say that whoever is in the feminine energy is looking in the 3D, and whoever's in the the masculine is looking at the 5D, and that can be you're coming from two different places. And the lovers is an interesting card because even though it's definitely about lovers, there's male and female energies are different, and they can be competitive, and it can be a source of conflict. You've got the snake here. This is kind of an Adam and Eve kind of thing. When you have it upside down, I think that it's the masculine energy that wants to start uh, mm, getting more involved in something that is outside of what is normally accessible. Again, 5D. If you're not familiar with 3D and 5D, just a real quick background. Um, the the idea is that uh, in the 3D, for example, you could have two people who are not communicating, don't know that they feel a certain way about each other because maybe they have all this trauma and they don't think they're good enough or whatever, and this and that. But maybe in the 5D, because they both feel that way about each other, their souls are still connecting. And you don't have to believe in that. And this is a very oversimplification, but I just want to give you an idea. Since we're talking relationship, I gave you a relationship style example, but it is kind of a hokey one. Right? Well, we're together in the 5D. Yeah, we don't have to worry about the 3D. No, no, I'm not suggesting that. It's an interesting concept, but it doesn't. Yeah. So, anyhow, I would just be aware that 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 you can both look at the 5D, you can both look at the 3D, but you'll have to meet in a place. If you're always coming from a certain angle, they're not the discussions are going to get a little wonky, if you follow me here. Okay, and then last but not least, let's see what's going on here. Okay, in the upright, this Three of Wands would be somebody who's like, waiting and looking out. Holding on to one of the wands. There's the fourth wand would make it stable, but it's not there. So it's not. So interestingly enough, even though it's not very stable, since it's upside down, doesn't necessarily make it stable either. I would say that the person is not really aware of what it takes to be stable. And they're looking off in the distance in the wrong direction for that. I know that's not the typical reading of that card, but that's what I'm sensing is that, your person is doesn't really know how to do that. So you definitely, sometimes, I don't know about you, but I like being in the feminine energy, and I like my masculine to take the lead because it makes me feel more feminine. Not everybody feels that way. I'm not expecting you to feel that way. It's just what does it for me. So in this particular case, if you're the divine feminine and you're taking the lead, just make sure that the man or the masculine energy that you're interested in won't feel like that the roles are confused too much, because that can throw off the passion. I think this is more of of being concerned about playing with the male and female energies so that you keep the passion alive, right? So if you um, you know take the lead, make sure that both parties are not that neither party is being feels less than. Okay, it doesn't even have to be in the male female sense. Just make sure it's not less than. I am hetero, so sometimes I see it that way, but it doesn't. I know there's a million ways to see things. That's the one thing I know about. I never had to question, that other people see things in different ways. I've seen things very differently about so many things my whole life. So, gender didn't surprise me at all when I realized how widespread the way we the way we think about things as binary whatever. Anyway, I don't even get off on that subject here. So definitely this person, you may have to work around the fact that they're not as evolved in this level, and this could actually be just the tip of the iceberg. So I'd say this is the one that concerns me the most. And you know what? You might still be in that more in that energy right now, and you're scratching your head, going, "Well, well, if you're both in that, if you don't really feel that that's a problem, then you know what? It's never a mistake when you feel connected to someone and they're connected to you. If 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 it doesn't end up being something you grow together on, then I never see a mistake as a mistake. If you're drawn to it, there's a reason that your life, you want to grow from it. You want to experience what it has to offer. So if you feel that this is not a problem, don't worry about it. You may feel differently some other day, but that shouldn't stop you from being with this person. If you're still working with that energy and so is that person, then great. Okay, nothing wrong with it. Just I feel that based on the things that I've learned throughout my life, that letting go is the real is something that is more freeing, and it's more it's less painful. So but to each his own. I mean, I'm sure there are people that are perfectly happy who, I think we all come to this place with different ideas about things, and sometimes things work, and you're in other energies that you are working on, and this one never has to be addressed. Okay, there's like all kinds of possibilities here, so I'm not judging. It's totally possible. This is not my particular sense of things, but definitely possible, and more than possible. And this one, it's a stronger card because it's major arcana, even though I am a little more concerned about this. This is not so much about masculine and feminine, but there is a bit of a difference in, it's not so much the male and female energies. It's just about how there's an unusual disconnect that's rare. So since it's upside down, it's not the usual. Okay, and this person isn't really figuring out how to be, the stability. Sometimes masculines, they're notorious for not having, like having, the ones who have girlfriends to talk to that are friends usually are a little more evolved because they talk about their feelings and whatnot, right? Okay, so a lot of masculines are great providers and they have all these wonderful qualities, but it doesn't mean that they. So just be careful with judging, because you know what, you can still figure it out together even if you think you know better. Does that make sense? I don't know. I hope you don't think I'm old fashioned, but I really I like that. So after the red flags, let's talk about conflicts. Now, these are not red flags. These are things that, well, okay. That was right side up for me. So if I look at it and it's right side up and I didn't flip it down on the card, it goes right side up to you. So just so you know that, because there's always that gray area and I've worked that out. Okay. If I see it first in the upside, then it's an upside card. If I put it on the table and it's upside to me, then it's reversed. If that's where I see, if I flip it onto the table directly. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. Ah, wrong deck, but you know what? I'm just gonna roll with it. We don't need, I didn't even need any. We can just use this deck as I don't know. I'll figure something out. If there's a problem, I'll work it out because I don't want to pull the fool out of this because he's an interesting cat, and maybe there's a reason that I needed to pull this deck because this energy was in the right position to pull it and flip it out. Okay, but I don't know how that's a. Oh, another arcana. Oh, major arcana. I mean, they're all arcana, but I mean, major. I don't know why I said that. It's so weird. Okay. Conflicts. How are these conflicts? Okay. All right. Well, that one's upside down, so that might have a little more interesting. Not that these really have bottom of the card energies, but just in case they do, I thought, I have these two rows. I could probably pull another deck of, I'll just pull a third deck. You know what? That's a good idea. Maybe when I do this spread, I'll have 3 different decks. Right. If I have clarifiers, I have no idea what I can just pull another deck. I have a few decks, so it's all good. All right. I guess the overriding theme could be, that if you try to offer too much or try to fix this person, that it might not be taken the right way. Okay. And okay, so let's talk about the obstacles. These are not red flags. These are not things that you need to beware of. These are things that you just want to overcome together. Okay, they are not within the relationship. They are without or outside of. There we go. All right, the Fool is such a strong card. It is like the trump card of the Arcana. I mean, it will that energy will override, so it will even override the Emperor. Okay, so the obstacle is it's a simple Fool situation here. This obstacle is just that when you're starting something new and you don't know where you're going, and you just got to be careful with how you start. Make sure that you work on having some strong footing and not just jump in and without I mean, he might as well be wearing a blindfold, heading over a rock. You don't want to just jump in without figuring out what you're doing. Okay, so do that. That's definitely something you want to work out with your person. The Emperor, I know when he's upside down, that'd be more of a red flag situation. So the right side up, the Emperor and I have an interesting relationship. This energy shows up constantly for me when I'm thinking about a particular person, and it was very confusing for me, and I spent a lot of time trying to understand the Emperor. And the thing about the Emperor, and a lot of people don't realize this, is that it usually suggests that it seems like, this person is overpowering another, but it's actually, in terms of a love reading, this energy is comes off as a judgmental or pushy, but the thing of the matter is that this Emperor doesn't say some of the things that perhaps is obvious, like, um you know uh a father who doesn't tell his kids how much um they're loved, because the father's providing all the time, and it's just assume, of course they know how much I love them, and the father loves the kids to death, but it's not stated. And a kid could grow up thinking my dad didn't love me. you know this is the danger with the Emperor. Okay. um and it kind of stands to reason. The person you're dealing with, uh being um be try not to assume or judge or think the worst, because sometimes a person is just not as expressive. um, they can be very closed off in terms of what they share. um, the Emperor could hold a straight face and look at you like they hate your guts, but they could be madly in love with you. That's an Emperor. Okay. So this is not a bad quality. This is not a red flag. This is just, you know, learn about each other and how the communication styles are. Okay. Because Emperor, totally worth it. At least I think so. But I guess I'll have to find out. I am single, but I have. I'm not gonna get into that. Okay, but the Emperor definitely is somebody that I know very familiar. I'm very familiar with. Okay, the Knight of Pentacles upside down. Okay, slow moving knight. And this is about being practical and resource oriented and bringing something stable. So what I think is that you and your partner uh, might be caught up in like the Fool energy and whatnot, and not so much the practical, you know, um, consideration of the consequences down the line of actions you take today. All right, so that would be the other obstacle that you guys could work on together to make sure that you think about how your decisions today affect your relationship tomorrow. Okay. And if there is an overriding card, which I think the spread is being discovered tonight, so your Magician here is manifesting. So I don't see that as an obstacle. um, so maybe these are the obstacles, and this is just an energy that 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 is overriding, in the sense that, like, this one, these are red flags, so this is kind of, but these are not red flags. So maybe the Magician is just like, manifest these things. He's like giving you advice, or the masculine or female energy that is the Magician, because it can be both. I have, I think I ordered some deck that has the Magician as a female somewhere, but anyway, I'm looking forward to that, because I think that is an interesting energy in a female form. So anyway, okay, so I'm gonna step away for a second, and I'm gonna go get another deck. Maybe I'll get my Albano weight, which is a little bigger, but it'd be nice to end on something that is really um, big. Something big. Yeah, okay. Let's do the albino. Wait. I love this deck. I mean, I love all my decks, but since I generally work with the Smith Waite, but I'm branching out and I look forward. I have such a collection of decks, but I only want to. I like to discover them one at a time, but I'll see some and I'll get to it. I'll get to it. I want it. Meditating on these cards alone is. If you've seen some of these Oracle decks, oh my gosh, or even I like the Smith Waite without the borders because you could even use these for meditation cards. Although I can think of better decks for meditation purposes. A lot of the Oracle decks are just, oh, wow, Oh, what the heck? Uh, oh, I see. These are the other cards. I got this recently. I did use these a couple times, but if you haven't seen these, this is an amazing deck. The colors are all strange, like green instead of blue or yellow skies. But what's interesting about it is that the colors evoke feelings, even if they're not the colors you would think belong. You'll see. Okay, since I did not pre-shuffle, now I have trigger thumb, so if I pull back, no, that's why. So I don't want to hurt myself by being on camera and going through with something just because it looks a little mess if I pull back. All right. And I'm doing a simple one. I'm always afraid of messing up my cards. And you know what? Honestly, I think that even if I just did this, it's more than enough opportunity for spirit guides and angels to speak. So, angels and spirit guides, if you weren't aware that I was going to have you come and help us with this deck, I want to give you a second to be here with us and show us the things that really work for Virgo and their person. Two major arcanas. I love it. Love, love, love it. And they're right side up. All right. Well, that gives me hope that this deck is really ready for us. And the energies are. I don't feel another card like wanting to come out. Whoop. Whoop. And she's right side up. Yay. You have quite a setup here. Wow. Oh, and here's the bottom of the deck. Not major arcana. Interesting. But again, this is just oh, this is like victory and stuff. Yay. Nice. Oh, this is beautiful. All right. Okay. All right. Let's see. Oh, wow. I'm happy for you guys, Virgo. This is some cool things you have here for commonalities that really work. Justice. Okay, so whether it's legal, whether it's just agreements in general, you guys are gonna be able to have a fair give and take in this relationship. The Hierophant. There are maybe you didn't mind some of the things that I was talking about earlier because the Hierophant tends to be grounded a little bit in the 3D and the tradition, in the sense of tradition. So possibly both of you, and you can be traditional and but be more modern and how you see the world and stuff at the same time. It's not; these are not
they're not at odds with each other. So this also is auspicious for marriage, possible marriage. So again, a tradition. You don't have to get married, but you two might be the type of people who there's a practicality, or maybe Virgo is practical. I know that my Venus in Virgo, my style of love is very practical, so I could see that. Um, and then the Empress. That's so fertile, and you might have children. And if you're not, planning to have children, or that you're at a point in your life where children is not the projects, the things that you guys work on together, they're all fertile, okay? And you're going to have victory over all these things. And that is a reading. There's really no need to pull the oracle cards, because these bottom of the decks kind of gave us the overall sense and direction and advices, because these are kind of all advices in that sense. So not really feeling like, well, I'm gonna do it just because maybe you guys want to see an oracle. All right, 3 cards. But the thing is that usually when I use these, they're advices, so it could be another. Okay, well then we can do it this way. If it's something that's not good, then we'll assume it's a red flag that we can add here. If it's a conflict to work out together, we'll put it here. And if they're just wonderful, yay, we'll put it there. Okay, 3 cards. All right. And if they're all up here, I'm sorry. I don't know if you, but we have everything here, so all right. Just because I know you guys probably want to see very soon. Okay, I'm gonna put that in the in the wonderful new love. I'm gonna put that in the wonderful. Actually, you know what? No, it's not a red flag, but I'm gonna say it. When it's new, like the Fool here is a trump card of here. This, you got to beware of certain things. So I'm gonna put him in the obstacle category. New love is wonderful, but it's also something to be careful with. Well, that's a Hierophant. We talked about that, and we even talked about possibly having kids. So hey, and maybe it's good we pulled 3 cards, because look, they ended up really positive ones. I would have felt really bad if it was all negative, but I had a feeling it was going to be fine, so I went ahead and did it. All right, that is definitely your reading, but I want to remind you, do not miss my Vimeo, okay? It is going to talk about you, Virgo, but it's going to be directed towards the people who love you, your crosswatchers, okay? It's going to be from their point of view, but it's about you. So come and see me there. Give this a thumbs up if you liked it. If you didn't like it, don't give it a thumbs down. I'm new. Please don't, anyways. I can't stop you. Um, Constructive criticism is always welcome. I haven't noticed anything here, but sometimes when I go back and look at a video, I can see something that's wrong. Okay. I'm really glad we did this today. Maybe I'll try to do this for maybe signs who reach a certain number, so I don't, exclude everybody. Just, spoil you Virgos. But anyways, that's what I wanted to do tonight before I get to the weekend and have more time to do this stuff and actually put on some makeup, right? Okay. All right. Okay. Ugh. I hope you liked that. It was really cool, right? So.
of here. It's a little tight in here with the rig I have here because I have a lot of stuff in my apartment. All right. One of these days I'll show you guys some of my dolls and stuff. All right, take care.